I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Kings and Dreams. Man, thank you all for rocking out with me on my official birthday, man. Guys, ladies, if you're watching, this is my last year in my 30s, 2025. We got the 40 banger coming. And man, life is good, man. Life is good. You know what? No, life is great, man. Life is great. This year started off really, really strong. Man, family is good. I'm good. Friends are good. We all, man, it's a great vibe, man. So I really, really appreciate all of you that celebrated me, today, who have been longtime supporters of me. I truly, truly appreciate it. I mean, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. Like I I can't do this without you all support. You know, as content creators, we want to make sure that we put good content so people can rock with us. People can understand our thoughts, where we're coming from, but we can't do that without you all showing the love, liking the video, sharing the video, leaving a comment or leaving a super chat, really showing us that support, man. And I tell y'all, it really keeps the battery going in my back. I say that for myself specifically. And I truly, truly appreciate it, and I'll be honest. Um, Last year, around this time, I had put on a good face because there were a lot of things that were going on with me and personally, right? I hadn't spoken about this, and usually when it comes to my family dynamics, I usually keep this very tight-lipped, but I wanted to share this all with you, right? Where I had members in my immediate family going through some health problems, and things could have ended really, really badly for them. So, and then friends who were going through health issues. So around this time last year, I really put on a brave face as best as I could, and just try to push through and give you all content. So I'm just really, really excited that today that I'm actually in a great headspace. And one of the people who have been a longtime supporter of mine, and I wish a mutual friend of ours was here, but today we're going to celebrate my day, and we're going to remember her because she introduced me to this content creator. And when I met him, he really gave me a chance on his platform, and the bond between he and I has just grown, man. The brotherhood, the big brother, or we like to call him Unc, man. My man Taylor Made Dreams. What's going on, man?
What's happening? What's happening, King? What's happening? Happy birthday to the King.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate it, man. Man, we got some more people rocking out, man. But thank you so much, Red. It's been a minute since we caught up, right? Like on the live, yeah. Absolutely, man.
We've been trying to get it together, man. My schedule's just been so fucked up, between international traveling and then coming back and trying to, you're trying to reside in two different countries at the same time, man.
Right. I completely get it, and so I've been coaching my son's football. We went down to Myrtle Beach for like the week of New Year's for a tournament day after Christmas. So I've been running around. So you've been running around. I've been running around, man. And speaking of running around, man, this brother, man, is one of my very, very good friends, man. And I think he's been to I think he's been to 20 countries. He may be at 19 right now, man. But a young man in the game, man, just really, really killing it, man. And always will have my support. We talk pretty much every day behind the scenes. And, you know, this is a really, really good brother of mine, man. What's up, Austin? How we doing?
What's going on? I'm doing good. How about you?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing great, man. You know, birthday vibes. So good energy, positive energy here, man.
What's up, young man?
What's going on?
All right. Good to see you.
Have y'all ever did a live stream together, TaylorMade and Austin? Have y'all done that before?
We never did a live stream, but we did an interview when we were both in Thailand. Matter of fact, we sat down right outside of the building.
Okay.
That we were staying in.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Oh, so y'all both were staying in the same place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in building. I think I was in building B. He was in building A.
Ah, okay.
Thailand.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. All right, so before I continue the conversation, let me get to some of these super chats before I move on. Tevin King, salute Kings and Dreams, continuing to make these fire content all year round, man. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, man. Tevin King, you are a real one. My man G Turner, happy birthday, Kings. Thank you so much for the super chat. Man, I really appreciate y'all popping in through here, man. Fearless Podcast, happy birthday. Appreciate all the birthday shout outs, man. Solo Traveler ORD, happy birthday, bro. I'll catch you in Cuba. Getting it in. Oh, my God. Man, listen. Cuba, I had a great time. Let me tell you, I had a great time. Man, I was on fire. I think I was hungover dealing with Cuba for like a month and a half. Seriously, my blood type was rum when I came back, dog.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I partied hard out there, man. Toast up, Kings. Shout out to you, Garden Scientists. Jay Burden, happy birthday, big dog. Man, Philly Dom. What's up, Philly Dom? See you, champ. Watching from Belize. Shout out to Philly Dom, man. Talking about the migrant situation in New York City. I think it's crazy, man. Let me see.
It really is crazy. It is.
The migrant in New York City?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
It is.
Run by a governor who don't know what the hell she's doing, and a mayor who don't know what side of the coin he want to land on.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, man. Oh, man! Thank you so much for the super sticker, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Charles Jones in the building says, "Hey, man, just dropping by to wish you a happy solo return. Be easy. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it." Los is in the building.
All right.
Oh,
Los.
Speaking of Los, oh man, Los is right here. Man, this is another brother, man. Man, a really, really good brother, man. What's up, Los? I really appreciate you coming through, man.
What's going on, family? You know what I'm saying? I gotta mute my joint in the background. You know, if you can hear all that noise. Salute to everybody else just up on the panel too.
Man, you already started Carnival out there? Because it's Carnival week in Colombia.
Nah, I'm back in the States right now to come back over here for this job real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I won't be back over there until mid-March.
Ah, okay. Oh man, but thank you so much for popping out, man. I really, really appreciate it, bro. For real. Thank you.
No doubt.
OG Passport, bro. Happy birthday, Kings. Thank you so much, man. Hey, so I have a question to start it off, and once other people get here, I'll get them involved in the conversation. I'll actually start with you, on TaylorMade. So, do you believe that there's different tiers to this Passport Bro movement, and If you don't, should there be tears?
Hold on one second. I got to change glasses because sometimes this light hurts my eyes.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. Take your time.
Yeah, I ain't trying to be cool, y'all, but my eyes are bothering me.
Don't worry about it, man.
I don't know about tears because I've been traveling since the 80s. That was before everybody on this panel was probably even born. My first place I hit was St. Thomas in 1986. I was in the military, and I continued to travel even when during the time I was in the military, going on vacation, even after I got out. And you got a lot of other older cats who've been doing it for a long time too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the new generation, especially, I would say within the last 12 years, you've seen a strong influx of young brothers traveling. And I just think it just picked up speed. Because the old cats, man, we were all settling in there, man. You got expats that have been living in countries for 20 years. But I think with the changing of social media, I think with the new mindset, and I'm happy to see young brothers travel like that, man. It just does my heart well. I think they just, somebody just had to label it because, like I said, man, it's just so strong an influx. And we're talking about brothers traveling, not because they're in the military. Like a lot of us started out our traveling from the military, and not because, going overseas trying to get a job. But a lot of brothers, man, especially within the last, I would say 6 years, becoming influencers. You got brothers like O'Shea, Ace, who's been in the game for a minute themselves. I think with all the brothers coming after that, it just caught fire, and somebody had to give it a name. And and especially the situation, unfortunately, what happened with Brother Holloman. And I spoke about that on my show. I thought that was absolutely bullshit. And it just needed a target. And unfortunately, he was the target for trying to do some, I guess, shaming for men going overseas, looking for better opportunities because the United States just got so crazy and indignant. I mean, they're trying to make men women and trying to make women men. So, but I'm just happy to see it. I'm glad to know that men know that they have more options. And I don't care what label they call it. Some brothers want to call themselves blue book, blue book gentlemen. Some brothers want to call themselves passport gentlemen, passport brothers, whatever it is. I just say I'm just happy to see brothers actually taking the opportunity and taking advantage of not only traveling, but making a career out of it. So for me, I don't know about different tiers. I would say different levels due to brothers are doing it in so many different ways. Like tiers, you got like your A, your B, your C's. But when I say levels, I mean, brothers are just doing their own thing. Like you got Brother Austin Holloman who decided, hey, I'm going to give up my career and I want to do this to travel. I want to make my money from it. I want to build my brand. You got brothers like myself. Like I said, I'm in the YouTube game, but I never did it for a job. It's just always been a hobby, something I want to do. So that, I've come in, come out, come in, come out. But I have enough money coming in, where I can live all over the world without ever working again if I never touched the mic and came on YouTube. And you got brothers like O'Shea who gave up a career. He went to school even in Poland, went to medical school in Poland. But the YouTube game got so big and so good for him. He set up a studio in Uganda, and he's doing his thing there. So I said there's different levels, not so much different tiers, because you got brothers doing it in so many different ways and building their platforms. And then you got the brothers who don't do no YouTube, don't do anything. They just travel, but stay under the radar. Because I met brothers like that. When they see me, they were like, Russ, I said, no problem. I know you want to stay under the radar. So, man, but I'm just happy to see Black men traveling and enjoying life, because we're used to seeing other people doing it, other communities do it. So, like I said, once Black people start doing something, it's always got to get labeled because, we just put that swag on it. That's all. It's just as simple as that. We just put that swag on it.
Man, an excellent answer, and I think, actually, you know what, before I respond, Austin, let me hear your take on this. Do you think that there are different tiers to this passport bro movement?
I would agree with what he was saying, but I think it's somewhat of tiers because you have somebody like me that's an expat. I haven't been back in 16 months now, and then you have a weekend traveler, and then you have a part-time expat, somebody that's in and out of the country for 3 to 6 months. But I mean, they might all have different mindsets. So is that what you're getting at by tiers or levels? Is the mindset or just
yeah? So I mean, all of it combined into one. So it could be like however you want to look at it. You can explain it from your point of view. So if you want to say like, if it's from a mindset standpoint, that's cool. Just break it down. When I ask the question, what is your thought process?
My thought process is an expat now, is what you're saying.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You said my thought process is an expat right now.
Yeah, so what I'm asking is like, as far as with the tiers, right? So with, you said mindset. So I'm saying you can say mindset, you can elaborate however you want. However, it's open for your interpretation. That's essentially what I'm getting at.
Well, I guess the mindset now is that for me as an expat living abroad, it's more about me finding myself and seeing where do I fit in the most rather than taking a vacation and just experiencing these places for 2 weeks. I guess is the mindset. I'm going to places to learn how to be adaptable in other places.
Okay, fair enough. Definitely appreciate that. All right, Losa, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. So another brother I want to add on. Hold on, let me just mute you, Los. Your background's a little bit noisy. All right, so another brother I want to add on here. Really good brother. One of my great friends, my mentor. Andre, love crossing borders. What's going on, man? How we doing?
Look at the family in here. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you so much, man. I really
Happy birthday.
It, man.
Look at this panel full of black men smiles, man. You don't see this in the States so often. Usually when you see this type of panels, man, somebody got a warrant out. So, and don't be too much smiling.
Oh man. Yeah, thank you so much for joining, man. So my question was, and I know you just joined, do you think that there is tiers to this passport bro movement?
Oh, you asking me?
Yes, I am.
Yes, there has to be. Everybody doesn't move the same. Some of us move as vacationers. Some of them move as mongers only. Some are moving as expats, and there are others that are just basic part of the passport bro movement, because that's the great part of the movement, that there is no one person to, if you cut the head off, then the passport bro movement is over with. But the cool part about it, that it is in tiers, it is in groups of men, especially men of color, that are enjoying the journey of exploring the world with their passports in their own way. So tiers are a must. Us being monolithic in the sense of just one person or one way of going about it, and you can only define the passport bro movement one way, that's far-fetched. That would destroy the movement, because a lot of times we find that people in the States that don't have a passport try to define us by one unit of definition. But to have tiers of the movement and different segments of the movement kind of allow us to sit back and look at it from the perspective. And let me give you like this. You got black folks, you got niggas. Niggas don't like black folks don't like niggas. But we all up under the same umbrella. There are dudes that are under the passport bro movement that are trying to do some positive, great, insightful things that are going to last from generations to come. And then you got others on the other side of passport bro movement can get less than a damn. All they trying to do is bust a nut. And so you have to have this diversity in order for the movement to work.
Right. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Los, if your background is a little quieter, did you want to expound on that?
I can just change locations, man. So it ain't that big of a deal.
Okay. All right. So did you hear the question?
Yeah, I heard the question. So for me, man, I mean, everybody pretty much said, what it is. There's different sectors or different sections of this whole passport bro thing, and then your actions and on how you moving around is what's gonna basically put you into that category, man. So me, when I came back to Tampa originally, a couple of people was asking me about my experiences and stuff like that. So, I turned around and asked them myself, do you consider me a passport bro? Because it's a big topic in America if you haven't been back, after living 3 years in another country, almost 2.5 years in another country, then coming back over here, it's like, you got to readjust. So, a lot of people, they was curious and, I was curious to want to know what they were thinking. So when I asked them, yeah, you a passport bro, you left America, you stayed away and you got a girl. And I was like, what? Are you serious? So it's about somebody leaving America and then going chasing women. That's what passport bros are. So they was like, well, yeah. So I had to pull out some different artifacts and receipts because, I got an old YouTube channel full of receipts. You know what I'm saying? So, that right there, I was able to shift the mind frame of a few people and let them know, hey, man, listen, the passport bro thing, why you could put me in that category. You know what I'm saying? And in all actuality, I very well could be, but I move more so as an expat, got official documents, I'll be just like Andre here in about a year and a half, you know what I'm saying, with a resident permit, a permanent resident permit, man, and all of these different things. I've traveled throughout Colombia in the inconspicuous places, was able to show all these things. So I think, part of what your actions are as a individual that's outside of the United States will, kind of categorize what type of what part of the umbrella you fall up under, So, there's expats, there's vacationers, there's weekend warriors, there's, people who just go for the fun. There's people who go, I think Austin said 3 to 6 months out the end. Then you got people that stay for a year or more. People who travel on business and they constantly on business. Because I have met a couple of guys in my since I've been outside of the States who travels around the world for different for business, and they base may be in America, but they always out of America doing business elsewhere. So you have that element as well. So. But yeah, that's what my opinion is about it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I agree with everyone's opinion on what they were saying because there is different tiers, right? And Dre, I actually heard a live stream that I think it was last week, where you said that, like, essentially what you said is what is doesn't need to be explained, where you said that you don't call yourself a passport bro, but the people who watch content like all of ours on here who travel to the States or who travel outside of the States, who live outside of the States, they're gonna call everybody under this umbrella a passport bro, right? But there's different, to me, I believe that there's different tiers and there's different levels, right? Like, Unc, you said that you were traveling since 86. I was 1 year old in 86. So, you've been true to this, not new to this, and right. So with traveling and living abroad, and then you got people who vacation, people who just kind of come in, have fun and things like that. I think what ended up happening, and feel free to chime in, any one of you all, the term passport bro, if you will, kind of gets this stigma, right? Because you got people who travel and then you have people who kind of show some content that should really be private.
I mean, anytime black people get involved with anything, they want to throw a stigma at it. You pick anything, pick hip hop, pick rap music, pick anything pick jazz, Martin Luther King. I mean, anytime a black person does something that they perceive, that a lot of communities perceive is outside of their realm, it always has to get stuck with the label, and it always has to, and it's always a label that's condescending. But like I said, that label will never stick as far as the condensation, because you got great brothers doing great things. You got great brothers putting out great content. You got brothers who are like Andre, who is married, beautiful wife, business minded. I mean, sturdy. You got people like I said, like brother O'Shea building a studio in Kenya, between Kenya and Uganda, building up a community of people out there. You got people just doing so many different things that's in that traveling community. So the whole stigma, I think it happened for a minute and it just fell off, because now I don't think that passport bro term is necessary. It's not necessarily negative, because especially when you start seeing the women from other countries start fighting against that, saying, hey, send the passport bros here. Then the sisters got pissed off about that. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was like whatever they was throwing against the wall to see if it stuck, it did not stick. It did not stick. And like I said, you got a lot of people, like I said, on this panel who travels, who's building brands, who's doing positive things. I certainly try to do something positive no matter where I go in the communities and stuff, taking care of, been involved in this orphanage, 8 years. We got our first person. We paid her way through college right now. I'm so proud of her doing a thing. I've been knowing her for 8 years, since she was 10 years old. So now she's in college, man. And I have an opportunity, along with a few of my followers, man, that, we got the money up, and I told her, if she's in college 4 years, we're going to pay for it for the next 4 years. So you got a lot of brothers doing a lot of great things. So I just don't see it. But and if we're going to talk about the passport movement, I can't leave out my brother Charles Tyler, who really, I think, put a big spotlight on brothers traveling. The brother died, way too soon. But he was becoming quite a powerhouse within that traveling community. We supposed to catch up. I remember our last conversation with brother Charles Tyler, because he used to do a big beach party in Brazil, in Copacabana, every year. And I told him, man, I can't do it this year, but I'll do it the following year. Unfortunately, he died that year. And it was like me and like 14, 15 other brothers went to Brazil to actually, honor him. And we had a nice party, usually around the same time that he would give his party, man, to do some things. Like I said, man, you got a lot of brothers doing a lot of great things. And look at the connection that men are having. I mean, my network is so rich right now. And that's due to my channel. That's due to traveling. There's only one place in the world that I've went and have not been recognized. And that was in Cambodia. That was actually in Cambodia. Even Cuba. I just came back from Cuba. Somebody recognized me from Cuba. Can you believe it? That's what shocked me. So like I said, man, and it's that network that people, like yourself, putting in, doing collaborations, doing positive things. So as far as that stigma and passport bro being you don't want to get labeled that's such bullshit. Like I said, man, listen, they said the same thing about hip hop, and they just celebrated 50 years of it. So I'm not worried.
That's true indeed. True indeed. Let me get to some of these super chats, guys. I really, really appreciate the love. Thank you so much, Austin. I really appreciate that. Man, my panelists are showing me love. Man, I love that. Vlog tripping. Happy birthday, boy.
Where's your drink? Man? You must be having a drink. This is your birthday.
Huh?
What's your drink? Where's your drink?
Oh man, let me tell you. So I got a bit of a sore throat, so there's no drink in hand today, man. There's a ginger tea in hand.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, ginger tea with some rum, it's good.
There you go.
I'm trying to get me lit, man. Let me tell you, last year I was lit. This year I'm chilling right now. But we still got this weekend, so I'll probably get a little nice. But thank you so much, Vlog Tripping. Jamie Woods, happy birthday, man! I really appreciate it. QB Passport Flexing, thank you so much.
Not the QB.
Tim Howard, definitely appreciate it. Oh man, became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much, Tim Howard. I appreciate that. Big Sean TV, Yanil's Journey. Happy birthday, Hermano. Oh man, Dre, happy birthday. Damn, man. Appreciate it. Cool Cat. Remember the great Yusef Watif and our beautiful sister Felicia Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Sir.
Absolutely. Rest in peace to our sister Felicia Jordan, man. Very, very good people. All right, so there was some comments, questions. And all right, so I want to get to this question here. All right, so Garden Scientist says, and this is for you, Russ, but I want everyone to chime in here. Can you blame them? There are tons of brothers who destroy everything they touch. Of course, they will give the good brothers a bad name. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like I said, people want to clump everything black folks do into one segment and one category and think that we move the same, we act the same, we vote the same, we do the same.
Right.
But the thing is, your reputation, your character is what people are going to remember. They're not going. So I'm not worried about me having a stigma or people saying, well, Taylor Made Dreams, he's the passport, bro. He led that stuff to DR and all that. I'm not worried about that stuff because my work speaks for itself. My work speaks for itself. Right now, my big thing was making sure once I, because I moved to Thailand, so I'm living part-time, here, there, and a little bit everywhere between Thailand and DR. I wanted to make sure that the orphanage was taken care of, and thank God, man, I made enough network friends through the channel where now you got cats, man, who are donating on a monthly basis, picking up the mantle where I left off. So, like I said, let your work speak for you. You don't have to, chase a lie. That's what I've always heard. You don't have to chase a lie. And so when people start, trying to, put a stigma on it, man, you ain't got to argue with that because I don't. I let my work speak for itself. You got, like I said, you got cats that are moving overseas, or whether it's part-time or full-time. They have families, they have businesses. You got a lot of people here in DR with a lot of businesses. When I go to Thailand, there's a lot of brothers down there with businesses. We do what they call a tiger crawl. We go from business to business, making sure that we kind of tap into everybody and show them some love to put some money in their pocket. So there's too many positive things coming out of here, out of this. If they want to label the passport movement, for it to be stigmatized as something negative, there's too many positive things coming out. And like I said, the sisters who were really harping on that thing, man. I mean, come on. I mean, honestly, the ones I've seen, nobody want them any goddamn way. So,
True.
What I care about somebody I wouldn't even look at, trying to talk bad about me. It's not someone I would even look at. So, I don't give a shit. And it's been 10 years since I've dated an American woman. 10 years. 10 years. Wow. I have not touched an American woman in 10 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think that like the bad outweighs the good in a way, like where people just kind of focus on the negativity, right? Like you talked about the tiger crawl, and there's a bunch of businesses in the Dominican Republic. Like if you're like, we're privy to it because I know we're like in a lot of the groups, whether it be on Facebook or WhatsApp, right? People have different businesses, in Thailand as well, and of course, Colombia, like what Dre does for like the kids in Colombia. We also have another good brother, Todd Allen, has a soccer team in Colombia. There's other projects that I'm going to be getting myself involved in, just helping out the community. So it's not just all like the TNA and the Weekend Warrior, whatever they want to call it. Like it's a lot of layers to this, and I think that people just kind of want to see the bullshit as opposed to the real shit.
Well, everybody wants to celebrate a failure. Nobody want to celebrate victories. Everybody want to celebrate a failure. Right. So like I said, you just can't feed into the bullshit, honestly.
Right.
True.
Right.
True.
Absolutely.
So true.
Absolutely. So what is a couple of things that we can do? And Austin, I'll ask you from a younger perspective. What are some things that we could do as maybe for the younger generation to kind of separate or at least illuminate on more of the things like that can help a community and bring some awareness as opposed to just showing one aspect of the travel expat?
Like I've always said, and like Dre was saying, tiers are very important. If you ask me, the whole movement should be more of a fraternity style and it should be centralized with some sort of heading and membership. That's
I agree.
Back to community service and all that.
I do agree with that. That's an excellent point. But is it too far gone to do that now?
We've spoke about this before, privately, but I don't think it is. But we've spoken about it privately before.
Yeah, I know that we have, but I was just curious. Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying that because that's kind of our idea.
Right. Yep. I remember. Man, another brother from another mother. My A1 Day One is up here, man. My guy, the Flyboy Way. What's up, bro?
Shout out to Flyboy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Just check out this.
What's up? What's up, man? That's my little guy right there.
Kings and Dreams out there, man. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Daddy dude is crazy. Oh snap!
Hey, Fly. I got a question for you. So, you just kind of walked into the conversation. I don't know if you were listening, but my question is that do you think that there's different tiers for Passport Bros?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, bro.
It's different because I've been around so long on YouTube. I kind of like predate the terminology, but I think there's different tiers to just men traveling, and then there's another tier to black men traveling. So I would guess there also is a tier to Passport Bros, simply because of the fact that everyone travels different. I don't think there's a higher tier or a lower tier. I think there's just different ways of travel and different tiers. Whereas somebody might travel for women, somebody might travel for business, somebody might travel because what's happening to them in the States is killing them, because the laws in the States is breaking up. Is different reasons. I think what we sometimes mess up is that people criticize other people for the reason they travel, and who is to say what's the best reason? So yes, I think there are tiers, but I think what happens is that some people feel as though they are the ultimate say-all of what should be done or what is right or what is the right way to travel. And I think that kind of that's what kind of breaks apart amazing cooperation like with the Passport Bros doing.
Hey man, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. You're on dad mode. Trust me.
That's right.
Like, what you guys don't see, like that's what my son does to me. Thankfully, when I'm live, like he's typically distracted.
Yeah, we just got in. I've been running around because I'm going to put me in a big screen. I'm going to Barranquilla tomorrow, like less than 12 hours. Actually, less than 12 hours. I'll be going to Barranquilla, so I've been running around like crazy, and I had to get some last minute stuff done. So,
yeah. So with Barranquilla, you know, talk about that, like your experience, as a traveler. And we went there before, and you're going back again. So what are you expecting for your trip?
It's beyond, like, again, like when we went the first time, I still was like I still had kind of a big name on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's to the point where like it's been like at least 3 different or 4 different groups of brothers. Like one group had 20 brothers, one group had 10 brothers, and everybody's like, yo, we all going, you know. And for me not to have gone, last time I went, of course, when we went back in 2020 during the beginning of the pandemic. So now to go there now when things are more open again, I feel as though it's going to get crazy. Except for this one, I'm trying to do something different this time. Like I'm trying to go to the girlfriend route versus like just a bunch of different women. So I think that's going to be something that is going to really give you a chance to see what the culture is like.
Okay, interesting. And I'll ask the panel here, and I believe Unc, you've been to Colombia before, right?
Yeah, several times. Been to Medellin, been to Cartagena, been to Cali.
Okay. All right. So with all of these tiers that we're talking about, traveling, being expats, and we all know what's been going on with the scopolamine and all that. And Loth, I'll actually start with you. Do you think that like it should be, I guess, guys that are perceived on a higher tier or a more mature tier should be traveling to Colombia now?
To be honest with you, yeah. Just to be frank, yeah. If you don't have an idea of what to do when you're in a country that's not your native country, or you have the tendency to move reckless, or you lose control of yourself when you out on quote unquote vacation or whatever the case may be, then yeah, you don't need to come to Colombia. It's not for an individual that's going to be moving around recklessly. All right, because you moving around reckless in Colombia, obviously you see what's been going on. You have 4 unalives that's been aired for the last 4 days. You know what I'm saying? And with the rumblings or the ramblings of the people that's in certain cities in Colombia saying that they don't want the they don't want the foreigner, or they don't want the American man or whatever man, you know what I'm saying, coming to their city for messing it up, and then it just seems as if though with that rhetoric, you have individuals that's targeting, certain individuals to, do whatever they're going to do to them to keep them from coming there. So with that being, a issue or situation, I think right now in this part, in this time in travel, that if you are unexperienced or inexperienced, should I say, then you should consider other places that's going to be less dangerous, for lack of a better term for you. Any individual who's been traveling for years on top of years, you travel by yourself, and you understand the dynamics of the places that you are traveling to, then you can keep Colombia on your list. But yeah, right now at this moment, I don't think that is going to be beneficial for many, 6 out of 10 people, 6 out of 10 men, black men. I don't think it's going to be beneficial for those individuals to be coming to Colombia, considering the climate that it is right now. Hell, in Cartagena, you didn't even really hear about all of that scope stuff going on like you do in Medellin. You hear more about it was more about petty crimes and stuff like that. Outside of the one thing that happened with that gentleman from Chattanooga, Tennessee, but outside of that, it's just petty crimes and and stuff like that. And now, just last week, you see some man getting thrown off the beach in the scopolamine, because I don't know if you guys recognize or understand or know what's going on in Cartagena. The new mayor at the top of the year, he came in. I'm talking about he dropped the gauntlet down in the city of Cartagena. All of that stuff, what people know Cartagena to be, it ain't that no more, man. It's not that at all. It's not even close. So all of that noise or riffraff had to move to the beach side into that one little area called Playa Hollywood. And that right there is where you saw the Instagram post where the guy was being carried off the beach from being drugged out there on the beach. So, and it ain't nothing but streetwalkers out there. They just took that business from where the mayor is keeping them out of the central area, well, which y'all know it as Clock Tower. You know what I'm saying? But that whole area, the Walt City, all these different names, is nothing but Central, because every city in Colombia got a Central. Well, that is Central for Cartagena. And you know, because of what the mayor has done, and I'm talking about, he literally cleaned it up. He cleaned this thing up, man. I couldn't even believe it, because I didn't think it was ever going to be a situation where you can walk down there at nighttime and see kids, 9, 10-year-old girls and boys running around in the streets. It just wasn't like that for a long time, at least for the time being of me being there. But, you know, now it's not like that. You know, you can take your family there. You can do this, you can do that. So I know in Cartagena, hopefully that will, you know, drive a lot of the crime down, a lot of the drug gangs down, or whatever, for the foreseeable future. But, you know, just to sum it all up, man, if you have another option to travel somewhere else, you might want to consider doing that, because, you know, these cities in Medellin, because a lot of people don't like Cartagena. Medellin is not, that's where the epicenter is. And then, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, you ain't no reason for you to go to Cali, especially if you don't know the language, you don't know nobody. There's no reason for you to go there, because you're going to leave in a couple of days. And then Barranquilla, that's not a place for you unless you're going like the Flyboy to the Carnival. That's not going to be a place for no weekend traveler. It really ain't no place in Colombia for a weekend traveler like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, you know, considering the climate. I mean, so, you know, but yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. So I'll keep you there. So do you think the weekend travelers, do you think like there are boycotting Colombia because of everything you just mentioned? Because I saw a video like right in the middle of Clock Tower where they were watching a movie like on one of them big like Jumbotron screens or whatever. Like, and it was like 9-10 o'clock at night with, as you said, like little kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you go on to, if y'all went on my channel, Learn Crypto TV, I think the episode that aired two Sundays ago. Anyway, it'll say updates, Cartagena, the mayor updates decree. That's what the video label is. And you'll see I had got that shot going in there, going inside. That's going into right literally the clock of the clock tower is right there where I was walking up under that. And as soon as you go into the left-hand side, that's where they have it set up. And it's like that every single weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Families can take their gentlemen can take their families out, or whoever's the leader of the family can take their family out to the courtyard out there to where the streetwalkers used to stand and sit down with their family in chairs set up, and it's free. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and then, you know, they still got some of the little street vendors out there so you can get a little food. And, you know, if you want to drink out there, they still allow that and all of that. But, you know, all that rapping, coming up on you, rapping and all that, that's out of there. The horse carriage, that's out of there. Riding around on motos and taxis, that's out of there. The streetwalkers, like I told you, that's out of there. All of the clubs that used to house all the streetwalkers for that type of business, those are shut down. One of them is shut down because of underage human trafficking. That's what a lot of people don't know about Cartagena. See, me, because I live there and my foundation's there, I know about what happens or what's getting ready to happen. I was told in October of last year that they're getting ready to shut down those clubs. I just didn't say nothing because I didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? But I was told because there's a large human traffic problem in Colombia, not just in Cartagena, but in Colombia in general. It's a human traffic problem, and they don't, and that was causing a black eye. And then when you got the other stuff coupled with the tourist unalivings and all the other stuff, the drug trafficking and all of that type of stuff, when you got all that combined, that's why you see a lot of the mess that you saw. But yeah, man, a lot of people, I don't know what they're getting upset for. The people that's getting upset, I don't know what you're mad for. You know what I'm saying? Y'all complaining about trying to be safe when you come to a country, but then again, you want the BS that's around that's going to keep you unsafe. It doesn't even make sense.
All right. Dre, chime in here if you don't mind.
Oh, you know me. I love it. I love it. Cartagena gets, you got guys that actually think that the pay for player is going to break any city of Colombia, and Colombia, whatever that city is, it'll fall by the wayside if it doesn't have its pay-for-play mortals available. Colombia, we just talking about Cartagena. And you guys have been hearing me say lately, Cartagena, and you can look it up in 2023, 3.5 million visitors. 3.5 million people came, and let's say it was 500,000 of those, or even 1,000 of those. I mean, even 600,000 of those were guys that came for a weekend warrior for fun. That still leaves you almost 3 million people. The majority of people that come to Cartagena have a good time, don't get scoped, don't get robbed, don't get deleted, and go back home. And so for the mayor to sit back and say, you know what, this group right here is nothing but a black eye to what this group is over here. So the mayor says, I got a choice. I can get rid of this little 500,000 and still look good in Cartagena because I got 3 million still coming through on a regular basis from around the world. And when you put the numbers there, because numbers aren't going to lie to us, when you put the numbers there, now you understand why the mayors in several cities and the governors of the states in Colombia are coming together, because they had a meeting at the beginning of the year to do this. So this is not something that just one city is doing. Medellin is already putting up his plans together to do the exact same thing on a massive scale. Cali is not going to let it unfold like that at all. You got Bucaramanga. Dudes ain't even going to Bucaramanga, and that's the most expensive living city in Colombia. And Bogota, just did an interview with a guy that lives in Bogota, and yesterday, and he actually was telling me about the same thing that they got planned in certain areas of Bogota. So Colombia do realize that it's a vacation spot as well as a relocation spot, and to keep things going and keep the real money flowing, not the pay-for-play only money, but the real money flowing in this country, they realize we have to protect, for example, in Cartagena, the 3 million, even if 500,000 are coming down just to be weekend warriors.
Andre, did you read about that story about when Cartagena? See, because what you said at the top of your comment when you said that guys think that the tourism is gonna fall, or Colombia gonna fall to the wayside, you know, all that because that part of that is gone. Man, y'all crazy, man. I don't even know if that's even 2% of the tourism economy. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got to understand that those guys who come in for that, y'all not patronizing none of the restaurants. Y'all not going to none of these other bars and locations. You're not going. Most you do is go buy a boat. You know what I'm saying? To have fun and pay for the room. So your dollars is not going to the Colombian tourism. Outside of that, is going to them chicas. That's going to introduce that money right back into the Colombian economy. See what I'm saying? So that's what your money going towards. But was it last week or 2 weeks ago? See, I don't know if people know, Cartagena has a large cruise ship industry. For the first time, Cartagena hosted 6 cruise ships in one day. And I think a couple of them stayed overnight. In those 6 cruise ships, there were over 15,000 people just for those 6 cruise ships that came into Cartagena. Now, if you got all of these cruise ships from around the world, whatever cruise line coming into Cartagena on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, that's a form of tourism right there. Why wouldn't they want those people, if they're going to be docked for 8 hours, to get off that boat and then journey off up into Yosemite or Manga or any other tourist spots in Colombia to go enjoy the festival or enjoy what Cartagena has to offer? Why would the Colombian officials or the Colombian government choose to not protect those individuals, like Dre said, the real money, versus all of the knuckleheads that want to come and buy box? You know what I'm saying? That right there, make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So just to drive home the point about the tourism being shut down in Colombia, because that is gone, man, y'all lost y'all mind, man. Colombia way too beautiful of a country and then that ain't gonna stop none of the Europeans from coming. The Europeans still gonna continue doing what they doing and not say nothing. The reason why Colombia is like it is because of us. We went and did this to Colombia like that. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years and not saying one solitary word, and been knowing about what we've been finding about here over the last 10 years about Colombia, outside of the people who've been traveling here for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
That is so true. To piggyback off what you just said, we get more tourists in Cali from from Northern Europe, from Finland, Iceland. I met a brother 6'5" Dutch. I ain't never met a Dutch brother. I walked up to him in the club. I said, "Bro, what you doing here?" I'm thinking he from the States, 6'5". I'm thinking from the States. That accent kicked in.
That was Travis Kelsey, man.
I know, right? That accent kicked in, and I said, "Where you from?" He said, "Man, I'm Dutch." I was like, "Wow." So, and the reason why I was surprised not because he was coming from his area of the country or the world, but because just to meet my first brother from that area. But there are the number one groups that come down here to Cali, just in our area, and to Manizales, in other words, the coffee region, Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Austria, that whole region, they're always down here in droves. They're always here. I've got so much footage of interviewing white people from that part of Europe because they go to areas of Colombia that's not just the hot tourist spots. They go everywhere. So to piggyback off of what Los is saying, he's 100% correct because this is not what I heard. This is what I'm seeing on a regular basis here in Cali. And when I go to the coffee park, Juan Valdez Coffee Park, they're there. You go to Guatapé to climb the rock, they're there. You go to Manizales Parada, you go to the waterfall areas, you go to the volcano areas, you go to the snow-capped mountains. Nothing but Europeans over here spending their dollars. Now, will pay-for-play disappear or be a thing of the past in Colombia? No, we know better than that. Nobody's that dumb. That's the oldest paying profession in the world. No matter where you go on the planet, it'll always be pay-for-play. But will it be more controlled? Because they're planning on bringing the cruise ships to Barranquilla as well. And so to have cruise ships in Barranquilla, cruise ships in Cartagena, and they're getting another thing to piggyback off of that because Trump ended the cruise industry coming from the States to Cuba. They're going right past Cuba, coming directly here. And so they're like, you guys that have brought tomfoolery to certain areas of Colombia, you're not going to mess this up for us. You're not going to mess this opportunity to have global impact in regards to tourism and hospitality just because you want to bust a nut. We got a spot for you. We're gonna put you on this little corner, isolate you, and if you dare try to come out of this area, and I'm going to tell you something was going to hit a lot of guys. Y'all ready? I predict this in 2024, 2025. Once they start arresting tourists, once they start arresting us on, like you said, the trafficking, once they start arresting us for acting a fool, getting into fights, having intimacy on the balconies, throwing money in the air, once they start putting us behind bars, whether it be a couple hours or overnight, watch it change. That's what I see coming down the turnpike. Colombia's got too much money. And just in case you guys ever wonder what the number one export in Colombia is, it is oil, petroleum, gasoline, gold, and emeralds. After that, you have the textile, as far as not textile, but as far as you have flowers, coffee, as well as Colombia in 2022 sold over $600 million in exporting vehicles. We do have manufacturing companies, manufacturing plants in Colombia that a lot of guys don't talk about. So when you guys sit back and think that pay for play is going to reign the day, yeah, pay for play will always be around, but it will not rule like it did over the last in our minds the way that we think it is.
Straight facts. Some people must have thought it was cocaine.
Yeah,
it's definitely not. So Fly, you're going to Colombia tomorrow morning. What are your thoughts on everything? What was just said, man? You're on mute.
As far as what aspect?
Everything what Dre said and what Lo said, like especially with Clock Tower getting shut down, and then they're about to shut down Medellin. So it seems like all of the popular red light district areas, if you will, seems to be getting shut down. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, okay. Well, I think that everyone is supposed to live the life they want to live. I think a lot of people don't see that they sometimes have a colonistic way of thinking. Colonistic meaning in the sense of this is the right way to live, and it's never that. Okay, go. It's never ever been a one way to live that's the best way or the correct way for everyone.
Yeah.
When I say colonistic, we all went. A lot of us went to school in the United States. In the United States, and triggered in your brain when it was creating who you are. That hey, this is how everybody's supposed to act. This is how everybody's supposed to live. But once you travel the world, you see that that's just a brainwashing to believe that one thing is right and other things aren't. So when people say, you know, when people say that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, well, that could be work for them. But I think that everyone has to live the life they live. So when it comes to like the shutting down of the clock tower or things they're trying to do in Medellin, if it happens, it happens. Then people will find other places. I just suggest people find other places until either it goes back or if it doesn't go back, find another place. But the issue is to tell a story of history and not tell the entire story because you believe that one part of it, such as the pros or the red light zones, is not a good thing. That just makes you the same way that the British did when they conquered Africa and destroyed their culture and then said, hey, y'all go this way or it's not right. The same way you did when the British went and conquered India and said, hey, India, we're going to get rid of your whole culture. We're going to put our culture here. And if you're not following this, it's not right. So me as a black person who grew up in North New Jersey in the urban area, who grew up with no father and a mother in a mental institution, and I was in the streets, and I know how it feels to be poor, and I'm a millionaire now, and I know how it feels to be wealthy. I could never look down on people because they're learning the way that works for them. So you won't see me get any aggressiveness towards it or get emotionally excited or depressed about things that may be changing because that's just what happens with time. But one thing I just try to put out there to people is like, hey, as a black person, I can never be a colonist because I know what they did to us in the United States. So that's
okay.
So you just compared and you know I'm taking notes. Just compared the advancement and changes that Colombia themselves. You just compared the changes that Colombia, its country, the elected officials that the people voted in, who decide these changes on behalf of the people, and the people are not protesting in the streets. They're not throwing bricks or trying to vandalize anything. They have embraced these changes and are happy that these changes are taking place. And you actually compared it to Britain when they invaded Africa. I'm trying to understand that because if we come to my point in saying, and I want to let you speak, Sly.
Because that's not what I said. So you're misquoting what I said. I said
no. I actually wrote down exactly what you said.
Think that something is right or wrong. That's a different mind state than with the Colombia. I said nothing about what the Colombian government did. I said the mind state of someone thinking something is right is a colonistic way of thinking. That has nothing to do with the Colombian government and what they're doing with the country.
But that's what Los and I were just talking about. And he said, respond to what Los and I spoke about. So your response was the counterpoint to what Los and I were saying. So we're talking about policies that have been changed. We're not celebrating because we're not a part of that world. We're married men that are focusing on the development in other areas. So the pay for play world has nothing to do for me. If a dude just on a whim, cameras off, ask me, Andre, what's a strip club in Colombia, in Cali? I can't tell you why. I'm not a part of that world. Nothing bad about it. I'm just not a part of it. So we're not sitting back celebrating, but at the same time, we're not comparing it. We're not putting down if a country that we decide to live in, and that could go for any country, guys. And this is a point that I'm trying to make for the chat as well. Any country that we decide to go to, that's their policy. They've got an emperor in Thailand. You can't drop the money on it. You can't change Thailand policies because we look at it as colonization and so forth. That's if we decide to land on their land, we've got to follow their policies. So it is here in Colombia. So once again, we're not celebrating the fact that men have to isolate their behavior in certain areas of Cartagena or in Medellin or in other parts of Colombia. All we're doing is exposing the fact that changes are taking place in adaptation, which I do agree with what you said. If the guys can't adapt, and I'm just paraphrasing, then maybe that's the beauty of having our passports. We guys could look at other locations to sit back and say, well, if Colombia is not doing what I need for it to do like it used to, maybe I should look elsewhere.
Well, now, I never said anything about celebrating. I said emotion. But here's the thing, what you did say. If you are speaking on something that you're not part of, that is the definition of colonization. Because what I do is I tell an inclusive version of history, meaning I actually take part in stuff so that I can have an idea how the people feel when I talk to them, versus looking from the outside judging, because that's what it comes off as. And it might not be what you guys are doing, but that's what it comes off as, because you guys don't dabble in that type of life. So,
but I got a question. I got a question to what your point is right there. So say.
Let me finish it. For example, I am a heterosexual man. If I go start talking about what gay people are doing or homosexual people are doing, and I'm not part of that community, well, then I'm colonizing the thought. If I'm telling you what they're doing is right or wrong, because I'm not part of that community. So I would never talk about it that way. And as Black people, we should have learned this, because white people or Europeans did that to us in the United States. So it kind of hurts me when I see my other brothers doing that stuff to other people in other countries when they're not part of the situation. That's why
we are part of the country when it comes to policies and laws, modern day policies and laws. It's our responsibility as passport bros to share these changes that are taking place as far as policies and laws
on the red light districts, or the red light districts. And I'm giving you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a talking down to the people of that lifestyle. And as Black people,
I'm giving you stats and facts.
No, but
now how you guys accept it, that's different.
What you guys said.
But how you guys accept it
guys. Wait, go ahead, Jay.
How you guys accept it, and we're not realize we as men know this is not going to be comfortable. I remember several times when I was working at a college, and we would be in our departments, and all of a sudden they'll say, we're changing office departments. You guys are going to be on the 5th floor. You guys are going. Your department is going to be on the 7th floor. Your department is going to be on the 12th floor. You can just hear the moans and groans because we're all comfortable in our cubicles. We got our photos put up. Everything is just right like we like it. But the company knew when they made that statement, it'd take a day or two for the rumbles to stop. We know that at this point, the reason why I use that metaphor is for this. We know that it's not comfortable for anybody that is comfortable with a certain way of life, whether it be in DR, whether it be in Colombia, whether it be in the States, and when change takes place. So we're not celebrating in the sense of like, aha, look at you guys. We're saying that there's a reason behind what they're doing. And since we live here and don't vacation here, we can give you the behind the scenes of the why. But like I said, when it came to changing the cubicles, people didn't want to hear why. They were comfortable on their floor. They were right by the break room and the bathrooms or whatever it may be. And so when it was time for change, it's not comfortable for most people. And so we understand that. And we're ready for when guys say, you guys are celebrating this. And I'm not saying you're saying this, or it's just sad, or they're coming against the Black man traveler, whatever excuse that guys want to make. But like we mentioned, and that's why Los and I use facts, stats, numbers to keep the emotional ploy, or like you were saying, looking down or putting down on a guy or a person because of how they move. We actually don't do that. And that's why we try to focus on the numbers as much as we can, because at the end of the day, the laws, the stats, they're non-biased. If I sit back.
Oh man,
he was getting ready to cook there on that one. But just to finish up his point, see, and my question to you originally was,
hold on, Los, because sorry, I didn't mean to interject, but like Flyboy had a response for what Dre was saying.
I just let him talk because he wanted to make his message. I want to make sure he got it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the United States, there was something that happened to us black people. The government went against us and started locking black people up. You ever heard of the drug run, the crime act that Joe Biden passed? Well, guess what? A lot of black people didn't agree with that, and it hurt a lot of us. It put a lot of us in jail, undeservingly. So when you say the people determine what the government does, that doesn't always play out. So when you saying, oh, the Colombian people want this, that's not how it always is, because the black Colombians are different from the people in government. You know, there's been a civil war, right? You know, even with the vice president of the country being like a black woman, I believe, right? She's still having a hard time getting stuff across. You know why? Because in all governments, it's never the majority. It's just the people who have the most power, who control what the narrative is. And for me, as I travel around the world and I see that happen time and time over again, when I start seeing my own people speak like that, I'm like, damn, we've really been brainwashed. I mean, if it's not my country, it doesn't matter if you live there or if you're a tourist. It's not your country. You do not know the inside facts of how things are because you're not of that thing. Doesn't matter if you've been living there for 20 years, 30 years. You are not a Colombian. You're not going to understand the intel details the same way as if you're not a black American. You're not going to understand the same things happen here. So what I do is I just don't get emotional. I leave it out. But when I see my own people that we've been through this stuff already, talking about it, I got to speak on it. Like, yo, bro, like, you do know the crime bill, right? You do know the drug war that we had on blacks. You do know the mass incarceration. You do know that we couldn't read 200 years ago, right? You do know all this stuff happened to us in our own country. And you think that other countries are not going through the same situation? And because you don't see it, you feel as though you can speak on that country and what's really going on? It's crazy to me. It's illogical. Not crazy. It's illogical. It's not a logical thought. But I think everybody needs to hear their voice, because I think from these conversations, we understand life. So I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying, to me, that's not a logical thought. I think that's right. No matter how long I've been.
All right, fair enough. Los, I want you to respond, and then after you respond, I want to hear from Austin, then Taylor, and then we got another guest on the panel, and I'll introduce him. But all right, so after Los, then I want to hear from Austin, then Taylor made, and then I will introduce our next guest. So go ahead, Los. Respond.
Yeah, I keep it short. But my first question was to you is that if a person, say that they're not involved in a specific lifestyle, specific whatever, but they have done it, experienced it, 3 days, 3 months, does that disqualify them from speaking on that particular situation because of the amount of time that they dealt and then they chose to walk away from said situation? That's my first question. And that's basically geared towards just because a person is not paid for play or have done little, that don't make them speak of it. Second thing I wanted to say is because, again, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people who just are just casual travelers or vacationers, they tend to overlook the people that actually are on the ground, boots on the ground every day. You know what I'm saying? For an example, Andre has been in Colombia 5 years. I have been in Colombia 3 years. There's a level of experience that comes with that. You got Taylor Made Dreams been in DR for 5, 7, 8, 9 years, and then now you're over in Thailand going on 2 years. That comes with a level of experience that a person can speak on. Austin's been around the world pretty much, you know what I'm saying, to all of these different locations. Now he has a broader experience. His eyes have been open, to see certain things. So you can speak on the things that you see. Me, it's not talking bad, and I'm talking specifically about that sector of travel. And for what I was saying, I don't give a damn what you do with your money. I don't care. All I'm telling you is that, hey, look, man, there's a better way for you to do it, and don't get upset when it changes or when laws changes like it just did. Don't get upset and get mad, because that's what I've been seeing. Man, why they doing this? Oh, they shouldn't be doing. So who are you as a person to tell a government what they shouldn't be doing in their country on their streets? Why? That's what I mean. What you get mad for? You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just said yourself. It's not your country. You don't live here. So what you get mad for? And the last point I wanted to say is the people did vote for the changes. 70% of the people wanted to see this change, specifically in Cartagena. You had people right there. I don't know if y'all know this, but in Gethsemane and in some parts of Central, there's actually families that still live there. Cartageneros, El Costeñas. They still live there, like their family lineage is in those locations. So when they see the petty crime and the robberies and the narcotic sales and and all of the other stuff that could be happening and the selling of the streets walkers and stuff like that in front of their homes with their kids and families there, and they're seeing this night in and night out with tourists and other foreigners coming in acting crazy, like that video we all saw maybe a year or two ago where the guy was on the balcony in Cartagena doing his thing in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And now he's banned and he can't even come back to Colombia anymore. That's the type of nonsense that they was trying to, or that they have gotten rid of. So how is it that a person can't speak on what they see and let you know about, because in essence, with respect, you haven't been to Colombia in quite some time. In the times that you have been, you only stayed for a few days, maybe a week. So in that time frame, how would you be able to know what's going on? Or if you have spoken to anybody who knows what's going on? Because in America, you have people that's in America, living in America for 30, 40, 40, 50 years, right? And I can take you at least, if you line up 10 people, well, I'm just going to say 10 of us. If you line up 10 of us, I can guarantee you 8 of them is not going to know anything about what you were talking about colonization and what should have been taught in school to us or from our parents or whatever. You know what I'm saying? 8 out of 10 black men or black people are not going to know anything about it. You know why? Because I was one of them. I didn't learn what I know until I got outside the United States about world politics and geography and geopolitics when I got outside. And I was 37 years old at that time. So your point is kind of flawed because everybody doesn't have the ability to get that information to be able to make those determinations. So only people can speak on what they see and what they experience.
I'm confused.
Go ahead, Fly, if you had a response for that.
Oh no, I mean shout out to Crypto learn by those, but I think he's really convinced that living in Colombia gives you an inside connection to the politics of Colombia.
No, you have to be connected to people in order to get this type of information, and I am.
You have to be a Colombian person who's lived there their whole life, who was born there, whose parents are born there, to really understand what's really going on in Colombia. Just same way, you got to be a United States citizen to really know what's going on in the United States from the outside in, or even if you lived there for 20 years, you never get the understanding of it. Imagine a white person, quote unquote, I call them European, but let's say, imagine a white person telling you what's really going on in the black community because they lived in the black community their whole life.
Okay.
Years.
All right. So Dre, I know you probably had your internet probably cut out, but I wanted to hear from you, Austin, about everything that's being discussed. If you had any thoughts on this so far.
I'm gonna sit back and listen to this one because I'm not really sure what I'm responding to. It's
okay.
We're talking about colonization and then being with the locals, and
yeah,
I don't even know how this is all tying together.
Okay, what about you, Taylor Made?
I mean, like like a lot of countries that are not Western countries, but I wouldn't say third world countries, but a lot of countries that are trying to pull themselves into that first world generation, as there are going to be changes. There has to be changes. That's why a lot of times, when people say that, expats moving here to Thailand ruined the economy or moved here, it's not that. It's time changes everything. Time changes everything. And and like Dre said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And right now, man, you got a lot of younger, more progressive people coming into power, and so they want to make certain changes. Whether they actually believe in it or not, because we've seen people make policies that they actually do not believe in, but so that gets the vote. It is what it is. But change is necessary no matter where you go, man. And you can't run away from it. And I've always tried to make it a point to stay out of other countries' politics because of the politics and politics of America. So, Colombia is not a number one spot for me. I've been there great times, had great interactions. I've never had a problem. So, the change, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's pretty much all I have to say on it. And I appreciate you allowing me on this panel tonight. But I have to go because I'm actually going to do a show in a little while myself. I appreciate seeing you brothers again. Appreciate the panel. Like I said, appreciate the camaraderie. Man, like I said, I get a lot of good points from everybody on the panel, man. Definitely. And I just wish all of y'all nothing but peace, love, and blessings.
Man, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, man. We gotta get that collab done.
we definitely gonna do it. We definitely gonna do it because I'm out of here next month. I'm headed back to Thailand, so I want to do it while we're on the same coast. Right. I won't be back on this side probably till late November at the end of the year. So
okay. Yeah. Real quick question: how'd you like Cuba on the way back on the back visit?
Say again, I didn't hear you.
I said, quick question: how did you like Cuba on the second visit?
I enjoyed Cuba, and I actually picked up some good points because I watched your Cuba visit because you were in Cuba again before I went, so I kind of took some notes and some of the things and places that you went. I mean, I've been to like most of the, like the tourist bars, like Bogadita, Floridita, so on and so forth. But what I did not know is Floridita, man. I went there to have some, mojitos. It's a famous old bar. And they now, what surprised me, they do not take cash. They only take credit cards. Like a lot of the hotels now, they switched over to just credit cards. And if you're an American, your credit card will not work. Now, if you're an American and you have bank accounts overseas, DR, Thailand, whatever, your account will work. Not saying I did it. I can't do it legally as a citizen, but I'm saying those credit cards will work. So that's why it's such a great thing to be international, to have that opportunity, man, that, let's say if I pull up in Poland and my American card ain't working because I forgot to call the bank, maybe my Visa card from Dominican Republic would work. Maybe my Visa card from Thailand would work. So that's why it's always good and necessary. So I just wanted to make that point because, Cuba had a couple of changes, but it became more of an internet desert for me, man. So I enjoyed it, but that's probably my last trip to Cuba.
Now, because I remember I was watching one of your lives, and you was talking about giving stuff away to the kids in Dominican Republic can use it, but the kids in Cuba, you really want to get over there to give stuff out. And I was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, I took a big ass suitcase just full of everything from tampons to toothpaste to detergent to man, just a whole lot of stuff. I actually left the bag over there too. So we, got a chance to give out a lot of stuff. I still got a lot of footage I need to put together. And we just walked around the street. I hired a local for the day, and we just walked around the street, man, just blessing people. We gave them a care package, plus we gave them put some money in their pocket. So man, it was a blessing, man, and just the way people just hugged you. Matter of fact, I even got invited to a birthday party from giving a young lady a nice little care package and giving her some money. She's like, "Hey, I'm having a birthday party. Can you come to my birthday party?" And I went, and man, I had a great time. I got that footage too. I just hate editing, but I need to go ahead and put that stuff together, man. Because like I said, I watched all your stuff from Cuba the last time you were there, because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on anything. But Cuba was fantastic. I would definitely tell anybody who want to go, definitely check it out. Dre had a different time than so
we had a great time. We had a good time. It's just we had a hurricane, but
oh yeah,
it was good.
Oh, man.
Because we was on the beach side, so we got a chance to enjoy one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So we were north and enjoyed all that wonderful area. And so by the time we got down to Havana area, that's when the weather changed and the trip was not as as pleasurable as the first half of the trip. So I'm glad that we got a chance to see parts of Cuba that were not the norm in the whole countryside. So I've got a bunch of footage of that. But we had it was like a good 60-40.
But I did something different this time too. I actually stayed in the hood. I was like in the hood.
Yeah. That's what people nicest people.
Yeah,
no, they are.
The people, that's the best thing about Cuba, the people, man. Because I only went out one night too. I only went out to a club one night. But I found this bar that had internet on all the time. I don't know. This guy had to know somebody, because no bar, restaurant, has internet the whole time that you can hook up to. So I don't know who this guy is connected to, what part of the government, whatever. But I would go there every night just to get online and do my thing. But anyway, man, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Y'all brothers stay safe, stay blessed, and take care of yourselves, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, with Cuba, just a kind of quick segue with Cuba, man. Like anyone who hasn't been there, if you go there, besides the internet, and if you don't have an international bank account, those are going to be two major pain points. But as far as like the people, I came there with like the basic toiletries and stuff like that. Toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, razors so people could shave, whatever, hairbrushes, all of that stuff. And they were very, very receptive, very, very warm and very humble people, man. So I would say for Cuba, like outside of those two major things, the internet and your credit card, like if you have a United States bank account, and that's all you have, those are going to be two major pain points. But like the people are really, really nice.
So for all the gentlemen on the panel who have been to Cuba, y'all all have been cut off from the free world due to not being able to uplink or be online?
Well, a pain point for me was like not being able to communicate with my son, right? So I would be like in my Airbnb, and the internet would cut off for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, So like not being able to communicate with my son, that was a problem for me. Now, like as far as being cut off from the world, outside of him, I loved it, because I didn't have that always looking down at my phone, seeing notifications and all that stuff, So that's an actually like great point, because if someone, especially like us, we're all content creators, right? So we're all looking for content, or we're watching content, or we're reacting to content, right? And so if we have that time where we can just kind of decompress and just relax and really truly enjoy life, Cuba is one of the places where I would recommend.
Yeah.
I had internet the whole time. I had service. And
how was you able to uplink?
I bought a SIM card. And
with the SIM card, you can do that.
With the SIM, I bought a SIM card, but you got to sign up prior to you going to Cuba. You can't sign up when you go into Cuba. There is a way to get a SIM card, but we're not supposed to have those SIM cards. But you can just get the SIM card normally that you can't have before you go. And I had internet the whole time. I actually went live from Cuba.
What about an eSIM?
Yeah, but that live now I didn't see the whole live, but when you first started, like that live, like it was grainy as hell.
Right.
I was like, bruh, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I was still able to go live, and it was on time for like words to say, but it just the shot, the image wasn't there. But I could upload to Instagram, I could upload to YouTube. It was actually no, YouTube didn't work. I don't think YouTube worked. I couldn't.
So did you have a physical sim or did you have an eSIM?
I had a physical sim. Like I actually, when you get to the airport, you go to the thing in the terminal called Teca, and and you was able to get a sim. You tell them how long you're gonna be there. You add a week to it, and the sim will work. It give you like something like 6 gigs. I was able like to FaceTime my son when he was home, or FaceTime my daughter or something like that. So it's possible. It's gonna cost that much. I think it costs like $30, something like that.
Hey Drake, that eSIM Arlo, that you think that'll work in Cuba?
I'm actually looking up to see if it's connected to the Caribbean islands or Latin America. I'm actually looking it up right now.
Okay. I think these are important because I was considering going to Cuba. I saw all y'all went, so I want to be able to communicate. I can't be cut off totally. So this is why I'm asking.
No, you'll be able to communicate like you're if you're used to like having like 5G. I don't think they have 5G there. They have like 4G and 3G, but you'll be able to communicate. And I know that you started doing lives like fairly recently, but like I wouldn't recommend doing a live stream. Or if you're gonna do a live, make sure like it's short.
Yeah, Airlo doesn't have a Cuba. Cuba is not on there.
So you have to buy.
Flyboy tells you exactly how it's done. You just walk straight. Walk when you're walking out of the airport, and they'll show you. People are friendly, they're helpful. You just walk straight. You're not even leaving the airport area, and you just go directly to the little office that Flyboy was talking about. Get you a card, and they'll hook you up just like Flyboy was saying. It was not difficult at all. And one of the things that I did, just like Russ did, I watched Flyboy Way videos. Like I always say, Flyboy always shows you the best and safest way to get into a country and the safest and the best way to get out of a country as far as enjoying yourself. So What I did, I watched his videos, and so I was like, okay, we were prepared. Kid you not.
There it is.
Okay, so we have some new people on the panel, but I had a question for everybody, and I'm gonna start with you, Austin. I haven't heard from you in a little while. Okay, so out of the 19 countries, what would you say are 3 countries that you would not recommend for beginning travelers? Like if they haven't been to they have not been outside the United States, they don't have much experience. What are 3 countries that you do not recommend? And why?
Number 1, I would say Colombia, even though I've only been to Medellin, just because if you don't have any street smarts, if you are actually, I wrote that part down. If you don't have any street smarts, you have no awareness of your surroundings, you have no home training, and you're thirsty and you're clumsy, you shouldn't go to Colombia, in my opinion. It's too dangerous for all that to tie together. Number 2. Yeah, I would say Paraguay, Asuncion, Paraguay, because it's too slow for a first-time traveler and you'll get bored way too quick. Number 3, I would say Senegal, because there's too much scamming and a lot of stuff does not work. Like the taxi apps don't work, so you have to catch a regular taxi, and then they're trying to fucking scam you every time you get in a taxi.
Well, damn. Okay, so let's just go back to number 2. Like you said, Paraguay. When you mean by like it's too slow, like in what aspect? So kind of just expound on that.
I did my first 10-hour live stream in Paraguay. That should say enough by itself. I've been writing books since I got in Paraguay. Wow. I made an online store since I got in Paraguay. I've written 3 books since I've gotten to Paraguay. I've done these travel guides. I have a lot of free time in Paraguay. There's nothing to see here in Asuncion. There's only 2 malls I spend the majority of my time at. I just like it because it's cheap and there's still women here, but there's not much to do, so I can focus on what I need to focus on and not have to vlog every single day. But for a first-time traveler, most people are going to be looking for somewhere that has a lot of action, like Rio or like Nairobi, where you can step outside and there's a lot to do. And if you don't know Spanish, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to get around too much here.
Okay, so essentially, there's a lot of downtime, and as far as like with like activities and stuff, it's minimal. Okay, understood. All right, and then now Senegal, there's a lot of scamming, and you said things don't work. Like, what doesn't work? What do you mean by that?
Like I said, like Uber is not there, Bolt is not there. They have some two off-brand taxi apps. Those don't, and that's a lot of Africa where the taxi apps, the drivers that are on the app don't know how to use the app. You know, for a first-time traveler, I wouldn't. Getting around should not be a hassle.
I got you.
And then they have extreme scams. Like I remember I was walking downtown in Dakar, Senegal, and there was a guy that followed me for 20 minutes walking down the street, trying to get me to buy something for 20 minutes. He passed up a lot of other people that may have bought it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hassle.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about Senegal like on the scamming aspect. I mean, like I always hear about like Nigeria and stuff like that, but I have not heard about Senegal.
That's Africa in general.
Yeah, but damn, someone following you for 20 minutes trying to get you to buy something? God.
Yeah. Yeah, I got him on video too.
Man. Okay. I got you. Man, my brother, man, TSG Uncut. Thank you so much for being here, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I just wanted to come up and say happy birthday to you, brother. And sorry I didn't get here earlier, but I had
no worries, man.
Serious stuff I had to take care of, and just kind of caught up with me. So, but I appreciate you allowing me up on the panel. But I just want to say, man, happy birthday. You know what I mean? Every year that we get above ground is another blessed day. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, absolutely, amen, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so question for you: what are 3 countries that you recommend that first-time travelers do not travel to?
Well, unlike most people that have a lot more experience with the travel here on the panel, because I have countries that I've been to that I could talk about, but there's some that I never talk about, and it's because a lot of those were the ones that like we kind of popped in when I was back in the Navy and we was on submarines. So I never talk about those countries.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that I know there's been a lot of issues with Colombia lately, and I didn't have many problems like when I was in Colombia for a while. But the problem that I did see is I could almost see where we're at now based on what I saw when I was there. Because I did spend time in Barranquilla and I spent time in Cartagena, and it was in Cartagena is where I saw, I was there with my big bro, and I had kind of the same issue that Austin had where, at first I saw a couple of people kind of following and giving weird stares, and it was like 2 days into being there that before I felt comfortable. But, you can see the start of some of the shadiness, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of more of the type of traveler where I'm not necessarily trying to be in the places that you hear everybody talking about, because my whole reason for traveling is what I wrote down when I was 17 years old. My goal is just to find a place to chill and actually retire. And I don't really care what that looks like. And so that's why I appreciated my time living in Playa del Carmen, because, it's a small little beach town. It got to the point everybody knew me when they saw me. I had no issues. And I'm just kind of more of a low-key traveler. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to – actually, I'm going back for my birthday in a couple of months. So I'm not looking to necessarily post or show any of that stuff because it's always been for me. You know what I mean? It's always something that's been on my radar. And the only reason I don't live out of the country right now is because when I lived out of the country, I got twin daughters, and, they need a little bit – they still need a little help in early adulthood. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I get it. Those countries aren't going anywhere, and so fatherhood is where it's at, man. So I completely get it.
But once I get them on track, I'm out.
I feel you, man. All right. What about you, Flyboy? What are 3 countries that you recommend that first time travelers do not go to? You're on mute again, brother.
I've been muting, so I don't hear the static because you know something running in and out.
No worries. Go ahead.
The first place I would say is definitely Cuba, simply because if you spend all your money, you are stuck. Now there are ways you can move around, but if you can't speak the language and you don't have no money, you might be stuck in Cuba for months, just until somebody feels bad for you or so you meet an American that can help you out, because it's tough, especially if your flight get canceled or moved. Yeah, it's tough. So Cuba would be first. The second one would be Abu Dhabi. Now, the reason why I say Abu Dhabi is because they have the most strict laws I've ever seen. And if you don't, it's not laws like you know the laws. Like, I know not to kill somebody because I can get in trouble. But you don't know in Abu Dhabi that you can't yell at officials a certain way or you get locked up. If you hear what's happening in Dubai, just imagine that being 10 times worse. Dubai is the place where they allow certain things to get a little bit free. But in certain places, you can't even wear sleeveless shirts in Abu Dhabi. So that would be probably the second place I would say don't go. The third place, as of right now, I might also say Colombia, kind of because what Austin said, as far as I've realized that it's not the fact that Colombia is dangerous that I would tell people not to go. It's the fact that the majority, and I'm speaking to United States citizens, the majority of the United States citizens who travel, and it's not really a lot, only like 13% of black people travel, and only like 40% of internationally, only like 40 or 40% of people who have their passport. But a lot of people don't have the common sense we grew up in the urban areas with that will save you around the world. And that's the main thing that I think makes Colombia dangerous for people, is because we learned in the urban environment. But I say urban because I know I'm from North. Hold on, I'm talking. Hold on, yeah, I'm talking. No, can't that one. Give me a second. We've learned in the urban areas that we've lived in how to adapt to certain situations. Like, we know we don't go to somebody else's hood and do what we want, because we know that's not something that can help us thrive. We can get killed. We can get our stuff stolen. We know if it's a bad chick in the hood, we're not going to that bad chick house. We're going to meet her somewhere in between where it's safe. And because a lot of people growing up with a silver spoon, or a lot of people who grow up and don't have to go through that, they don't have that idea, they haven't learned from that, they go to Colombia and they do that same stuff. And for that reason, that Colombia will be my third one.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let me go with Dre. What about you, man?
Oh, my first one's on the list is, I forgot to turn the light back on. My first one on the list is, just like Austin and Flyboy just said, Colombia. If this country, or in some countries, I'll say this: I'm not made for every country. There are countries where it's cold as can be. That's not me anymore. I'm born and raised in Detroit, and I got away from salt trucks and black ice a long time ago. So when it's time to go to some country where it's some good people and some good fun, but it's ice cold, I'm not made for that. I'm willing to admit that. So it is with Colombia. Colombia is a acquired taste. It's not for everybody to come here and just be able to run amok. So if you're a person that really needs that freedom of kicking off your shoes and just running around and just acting crazy, you might want to go back to DR, or you might want to go back to certain. You want to zoom to Thailand or Cambodia. You might want to go to certain parts of Africa if you can do that, Madagascar. But here in Colombia, it's not the laws that's going to get you; it's the lawlessness that'll get to you in certain areas and certain communities. And the other thing is our pride, our American pride, makes us feel like, well, I can go anywhere. And like I said, I can't handle every country, and so it is with other guys. They can't handle Colombia. Number two is the UK. Flying all the way to the UK, I realized you might as well stay in the States. It's the exact same patterns, same behavior, same mindset. Just put a queen on it and a British accent, and you got nothing but the United States. So you're blowing your money on foods that aren't necessarily as healthy as they could be, even though they're not as bad as the States. But you're spending on a scale that you're like, I just left the States for that. So why would I come here and blow my money? And shout out to the UK, but why would I come here and blow my money and it's literally a mirrored image of the United States? So if you want to go somewhere else, you definitely want to go to not go to UK. Last one right now, I would easily say the Jamaica and Bahamas, because of the deletion level that's taking place, just like here in Colombia. If you don't know your way around or don't know anybody there, to be safe, you might want to do like I did, go on a cruise there, and you can go around the little touristy areas for a couple of hours and come on back on a cruise ship. But if you plan on landing on a plane and it's your first trip to the Bahamas or Jamaica, yeah, you might want to do a double take in regards to that if you don't know anybody there already. And those are my 3 areas.
Yes, man. As much as it pains me to say, right now, do not go to Jamaica unless you're just going to the tourist areas. So you gotta definitely be careful. Los, what say you on your 3?
Well, I got a couple obvious ones, and I got one that's gonna throw you. But so if you don't have any family or you don't have any specific reason to travel to Haiti, you don't need to be there. Similar to the reasons what Andre was just explaining about Jamaica and Haiti. Jamaica and Bahamas. Well, basically, I can't say the entire Caribbean because I can't imagine all of those islands are experiencing that turmoil. But Haiti is definitely one. One of my brothers is married to a Haitian. I work with Haitians in the United States, and the stuff that I hear and see, and I got a lot of Haitian friends. So, the amount of Haitians in the state of Florida, you can imagine. But anyway, shout out to my Zoes. But anyway, so I would say Haiti. The second one, definitely Colombia. Don't come to Colombia. There's no reason to come here anymore, to come to Colombia anymore because of the fact of everything summed up what Andre Flyboy and Austin said. I don't really have to say any more to that. So my thing is if you're not coming to Colombia to experience the cultural aspect of it, or you have you're in a serious situation with the young lady there, and you've vetted her properly. And then I'm talking about a long vet situation. My wife was a year's worth of vetting. She didn't get one thing from me. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're not willing to put yourself through that process, speaking on that term, then yeah, Colombia is definitely not the place for you at this moment in time. And the last one, if you can handle it, or if you can do something about it, get your ass out of the United States. If you could do something about that shit, get out of the United States of a fucking America. This place is a toilet, it's a cesspool, and it's going down quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if you haven't figured out a way to get a way out of the way, man, I feel bad for you. I honestly do, and I know a lot of people can't control that situation, but there's places within this place that you could get to, because I don't think that the major cities is a place that you want to be. I don't think that you want to be in the most popular places. Places like the places I'm from the state of Florida, is going to be underwater, man. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is one good hurricane to hit Tampa right in the eye, and we've been dodging them for 27 years. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. The amount of stuff that's going on in this place, and you have every situation is divided. You have these people over here for this thing and these people over here for that, and it's divided on every situation. I can't see where it's gonna get better. So why would I want to be in the middle of the frying pan when everything? Man, you Flyboy mentioned Civil War when we was talking about the other stuff earlier, which I don't care to go back into, but I'll make mention of this. What's preventing that over here? What's preventing that over here from happening? So if you can do anything about your situation to get out of here, please do just that.
Facts. Facts. No printer. Tell you that. Okay, so I'll chime in here and actually give my three. No particular order, but Colombia most certainly, right? Like you have so many guys and you have so many nice guys that are just coming down there, and I think what's happening is that like you have guys who are able to get women, date women, and stuff like that, but they get so enamored with the beauty and they forget to check the whole facts. What's her background? What's her parents' background? What's her people's background? You know, and they forget all of that. They lose their inhibitions, right? Because this woman, she's cooking, cleaning, she's giving you the best sex of your life, whatever, right? You lose all of that, and then you end up getting caught out there, either getting deleted or robbed, and or both, right? So Colombia, is on that list. With I would say, of course, with the United States, right? Like, I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to what's going on. And I mean, like, everyday people. I don't mean like you guys here, but everyday people. Like, I think it was 2 weeks ago, PayPal actually laid off like a bunch of people. These big companies are laying people off, right? And then there was another video where Dre, I think I actually reacted to, where you have people that are making six figures and they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely.
Right.
40%.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, 33% of people making $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Those that are making $250,000, 25% of them are living paycheck to paycheck.
Right. Absolutely. And it's crazy. I was having a conversation with my mother earlier today, and so I guess like she was having a conversation with one of her friends, and I guess one of her friends' neighbors were asking her if she could find a 3-bedroom apartment for like $1,500 a month, right? And this is a 2-bedroom. And she laughed and she said, I haven't seen a 2-bedroom for that much in so many years. So I say that to say the price of inflation, and then you have people getting laid off, people just divided, right? And like I'm counting down the days, the months, the years, check, getting my affairs in order, because once I'm done, I'm done. That's for the United States. Number three is I'm going to have to say that I would put Jamaica in there, because outside of like your local resorts and things like that, people want to try to like hang out with the locals, and you don't know the local areas, you could get yourself caught up in some shit. And if you don't have people there, or you don't have like a contact who you truly trust there, don't put yourself in these situations. So all three countries that I mentioned, don't be papaya, essentially, right? And that's it. So that's my thought process on the three countries. I think that all of you guys have excellent insights onto what you were saying. And so I'll flip that again. Now, what are three countries that you would recommend for first-time travelers? And I'll go back to you, Austin.
I'm going to have to start with Brazil because there's diversity there. Mm-hmm. For the most part, everything works. There's beaches, there's warm weather, there's sand dunes. There's a diversity of terrain in Brazil. Everybody knows about Brazil already. Number two, I would say Kenya, because if you're black, it's a eye-opening experience to see black people on billboards, black people in the airport, black pilots, black restaurant owners, black everything, and it's always something to do 7 days a week. And like I said, most people want to get into action. And then third, I would have to say Santiago, Chile. And to me, that was one of my best countries in South America because it was more sophisticated. there was something to do 7 days a week. You can't explore that whole city in 1 month, in my opinion. And it's a different class that's in Santiago for sure, though. I would say.
Okay, perfect. All right. Let me go with you, Dre.
I would say just for convenience and because the numbers say also forget about what Andre says. There is over 1.5 million people that live in this country, and this is of Americans that already live in this country, and this is Mexico. If you're a first timer going to Cancun or going to certain other areas around there, you'll find your Walmarts, you'll find your conveniences, you'll find not better paved roads and things like that, and you get a chance to enjoy some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. If it were me, Mexico would be my first location that I would go to. It actually holds the most American expats than any other country in the world. So you feel at home because you're more likely to run across another American in Mexico than any other country in the world. Secondly, I will actually put in Europe, Spain, whether it be, and I'll put two together. So this will be my closing: Spain or Portugal. You get a bang for your buck, but at the same time, you get a chance to enjoy a lot of great history over in those areas. And Portugal is considered the California of Europe because the way that it's shaped and it's right off the waters off the coast. So some of the best surfing is done in Portugal. In other words, there's a beach area in Portugal that makes a lot of people enjoy themselves, not just going to Lisbon. So there's other areas to enjoy around Portugal as well. Barcelona, Spain, you can't beat it. You got a lot of black people there from Africa, from Colombia, from Brazil, and with Portugal. Let's go back to Portugal real quick. Portugal is the #1 vacation spot of people from and relocation for people from Brazil. So if you're in Europe and you're looking to get your Brazilian on, Portugal is the place to be. Going back to Spain, same thing when it comes to some great people from not only from Africa, but also brothers and sisters that are from the States, as well as a lot of South Americans of African descent are in not Madrid, but in Barcelona. So it's really a lot of things to do in Barcelona. It's a city, it's one of those never sleep type cities. So there's always something to enjoy. And those are the three countries that I would say: your Spain, your Portugal, and Mexico.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Let's go with you, TSG. You're on mute, brother.
I have to agree with Dre on the Mexico. I would say specifically Cancun is probably the place I would start out with if I was telling somebody to go somewhere. You're gonna see a lot of expats there. It's easy to get around, especially if you're in hotel zone and stuff like that. It's gonna kind of have reminiscence of being like here in Vegas because it is pretty busy, but it's just a very easy place to go. You do have Walmart, all that stuff. So I'm not gonna belay that point, but it's real easy. A lot of people in the States don't travel at all, right? Much less outside of 200, 300 miles of where they're from. So another place that's easy that doesn't get talked about enough is Canada, right? Because you have depends on what side of Canada you go. You got English speakers and stuff like that. So, you don't have to worry about the language barrier. Maybe some parts of Montreal I found, but I knew a little French at the time when I went. But that was a great place, Montreal. And then I would say another spot that doesn't get talked about as enough is Panama. They use the American dollar and stuff like that. You have base over there and stuff like that, and it's a really nice place. So that'd be my three.
Okay, perfect.
That's a good list.
Yeah, I'll actually jump in and then Fly. I'll give you. So Canada was on my list too. I would just say like around like After Halloween, get out of there because it gets cold as you know what. After Halloween, get out of there. And then Panama, and Portugal. So with Panama, they use the U.S. dollar. With Portugal, so if you're not able to get to Brazil, you still have Brazilians that live there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're melanin and you're looking for a melanin community, you have a melanin community there, right? Also in Panama too, and then I'll say like another one to throw in. You mentioned Mexico, so like that Quintana Roo area of Mexico, like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, a lot of expats there. Flyboy and I, we went out there. We have a bunch of friends that live there from the States, people that live there from Canada. So those are places where you can get your feet wet, where you're outside of the United States and you're kind of starting to ease yourself off the United States mannerisms and things of that sort, but you still have that base of support. So even if you aren't a native Spanish speaker or Portuguese speaker or French speaker, what have you, you still have those expats that can help you out. Flyboy, what say you?
Hey, real quick, they also built a passenger train, right? That pretty much goes around that Kintaroo area now.
They did.
And so, yeah. And so, that will also allow people to get around the Kintaroo area pretty quickly to explore multiple areas while they're there. So that's something that's a big push, which now I regret that I wasn't, that I didn't get, buy that property. There was a piece of property I was looking at out there and I didn't get it. Now I kind of regret it because I didn't know about the passenger train at the time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have my ear to the ground to even worry about that. But you're talking about like as far as getting around and seeing new places all in one stop. Mexico is definitely a great place to start.
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that train. So does that train take you like from Cancun to like Playa del Carmen?
Yep. And another place that's starting to be up and coming is Tulum, right? So a lot of people are starting to travel to Tulum and buy property out in Tulum, but it takes you all the way around through all those spots up to Meridia, so it does like a little loop there. And so again, you'll get a lot of bang for your buck because it's supposed to be one of those high-speed passenger trains. And it's actually a buddy of mine, Mexican-born dude that I actually drink with on Mondays. He was telling me about it, and I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even think about like how that the president that they have now, right? What is it? AMLO was his name. Dre, you might know.
I'm not
what's
sure.
His name. Anyway, the dude was doing a lot of stuff to try to build up Mexico, right? So he's really, and the passenger train was one of those things that make it more convenient for not only the travelers, but more so his own people to be able to get around and work in multiple cities. So there's just a lot of good stuff that's going on down there right now. And I wish I had invested in it in the time. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I did not know about that that train. Man, I wish we had that, man, when we went out there, but it's all good.
I knew the train was coming when he was talking about the Tulum airport. So for me, the first place I would tell him to go is to go to Sosúa, Dominican Republic. The reason why I would tell him is because based on YouTube, 92% of the people who watch me are men. So I would tell them to go there because it would change their mindset on how they are willing to be dealt with by women in the United States when they go to Sosúa, because they'll see how of a commodity we are as men when you go there. The next place I would tell them to go is Costa Rica, because in Costa Rica you can get that same Sosúa type vibe, but it also opens you up to doing other stuff that more travelers do, as far as going to different locations, seeing a volcano, something that you may never see from the place where you live in the United States, going to see the culture and all that, and still have your access to that lifestyle, which you so much fell in love with in Sasua because that wasn't available in the United States. And then thirdly, again, I got to go because I'm a black man, and I feel as though too many black people don't know the history. I would tell them go to Colombia. The reason why I would tell them go to Colombia is because I need them to go to Palenque. Because if you go to Palenque, then that whole history that you've been taught in the history books may start to change. So while I said the first time Colombia was the first place I would tell them not to go, I would be also telling them that's the first place to go, because if you don't know your history and you're just going on what they taught you in the history books or what people say about all the people came from Africa without knowing that, hey, only 7% of black people came from Africa to the United States. Only 6% of people came directly from Africa to the United States. Most of them came through Colombia. And then you hear the story of how, wait a minute, when they arrived in Colombia, there was already black people there, melanated people were melanated there. Did everybody really come from Africa? So I think that I would tell them to go to Colombia and specifically go to Palenque. They're going to have to stay in Cartagena, but specifically go to Palenque because I need my people to know where we really come from. Not just that because it's not the fact that everybody came from there, but the fact that if there's a significant part that's missing or miseducation that was done to us, until we get that part right, we're going out into the world spitting nonsense that we don't know because we haven't done a journey travel. So
I like that one.
I agree.
And piggyback off of what Flyboy was saying with Palenque, is what I do like what's taking place now. There are more African Americans that are setting up Palenque tours to actually go see the town or the city of Palenque. I watched the video with you guys when you guys went. You guys were like some of the first brothers that actually really showcased on YouTube, even though others had little videos, but you guys really showcased on YouTube the importance of understanding our Black history by way of the tour to Palenque. So shout out to you guys for that. But yeah, it's great to see a lot more individuals that are coming down through Cartagena, and now you can go online and actually set up tours to go see Palenque, and it's not just a few guys that are going down. So shout out to Flyboy Way for mentioning that one.
Okay, perfect. All right. I think I've gotten everybody on that. So we are over the 2 hour.
Did you ask Los?
I did ask Los. Did I? Did I miss you, Los? I think so. My bad, Los.
I'm just chilling, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sober and I'm messing up. All right, go ahead, Los. Go ahead.
Well, I'll make it quick. And actually, 2 of them already have been said. Mexico, as a first-time traveler, that was the first place that I went. I've done the Cancun twice. I've done the Cozumel twice. I never made it to Tulum, and I do need to make it over to Mexico City. I want to go check that out. Don't have any aspirations to get to the west side of Mexico like that. But as a first-time traveler, that for the reasons that everybody else said, specifically what Sean was talking about, it's easy, to maneuver in Mexico and being able to wiggle out of stuff. Now, what I didn't hear y'all mention, though, is that you can get shook down in Mexico now. You know what I'm saying? You can find yourself in a situation with the law there, okay? And they just trying to get some money out of you. But, if you savvy and you understand, you can communicate in those places. Most of the time, you don't have a lot of English speakers. You'll be able to get out of the situation. So that is that. Mexico. Panama, definitely, that was the first country that I just kind of like went to and was like, I'm by myself. I'm riding solo. This me. You know what I'm saying? And I was super comfortable. Like you mentioned, they used the US dollar, so there was no exchange rate and none of that stuff. It's a bit cheaper than the United States, but it's on par. And you're going to run into Americans there for sure. You know what I mean? But it still gives you a different atmosphere other than what you would normally see in the United States and in other places that may be similar to the United States. So outside of those 2 countries, shoot, man, I don't know. I would tell you Canada. I've never been, but my ex-wife, you know what I'm saying? She went to Canada and she's from Belgrade, Florida. And when she went to Canada, man, she came back ranting and raving, talking about Canada. Let's move there and this, that, and the third. I'm like, nah, I'm good on that part. But because of how she is as a person, you know, you know, if you're a first time traveler, you probably should consider that, you know, because it seems like Canada's really on par with the United States, and you'll be able to maneuver rather easily. They have the Canadian dollar, but you know, I'm sure the exchange rate is going to be pretty easy for you, because those are one of the top 2-3 things that you need to be concerned about is your safety and your money while you moving around in different locations. That's not where you're from. And just to plug, you know, the Flyboy Way, shout out to you for bringing up Palenque. You know, I got a video on my channel on there for doing that. You can see me and my family on that. But I own that in the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got to plug some crypto while I'm on here, Learn Crypto TV. I own Palenque in the metaverse, all of it. And I found another platform today. I'm finna go buy it on that too. That's how much I know about my history and where I'm from. But appreciate the plug.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely gonna look into more that. I kept telling myself I want to look into this metaverse thing. I mean, because I know the money, it ain't a lot of money. Like $1,000 could buy you a piece of land in the meta, and I know it might not be nothing, but
less than that.
Yeah,
I've
definitely been interested in just at least getting something, because it could be one of them things that might have a blow up moment.
It's better to have it than to not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Let me read these last super chats, and then we're gonna close it out. I really appreciate y'all. Oh, I saw this one. Sorry about that. Shout out to my man Black Man Travels. Thank you so much for the birthday shout out. This Snuggles. Drop the link so I can ask questions. Has anyone ever figured out who Snuggles really is?
No.
Let's Learn Spanish TV. Feliz Copalenos, mi hermano, que Pasha. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you. Happy birthday, Kings. So much respect to Austin, Dre, and panel members. Thank you, man. I really appreciate y'all watching. Miss Polly, happy birthday, love. Hi, panel. Nice to see you men being great. Thank you so much. My 2 cents, there's no correlation of what Flyboy is saying and what Dre was trying to communicate. By the way, it's okay, Flyboy. Oh, no. Come on, man. All right. No negative bullshit, man. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Black Nubian, thank you. Art of Will, thank you. And Miss Polly again. Hello, Andre. Hope you are well. Thank you, man. Brothers, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come out, man. I know you guys have your own platforms and really busy, so I really appreciate all the love and support. Let's start with the final thoughts, man. What's up with you, Los? Anything you got to say on this conversation?
Feliz cumpleaños, hermano. I appreciate the invite for bringing me on, man. Hopefully, you'll be able to enjoy the last year of your 30s. Welcome to the 40 Club next year. You know what I'm saying? And you do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying, to have a long health and wealth and prosperous future for the years to come with you and your son, man. I respect what you're doing with your boy, because I know it's a lot of temptation to be out here moving around and trying to get out and be outside of the matrix more than you are in it. But I understand that you are standing on your manhood card and doing the fatherhood thing, man. So that's respectful, highly respectful to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to shout you out for that as well. I appreciate the work that you're doing here on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And putting together, new, because everybody seems to be finding their niches and things within the YouTube space, and it seems like you done carved out yours, where you have these open panels for individuals from all genres, well, from specific genres, but different avenues or different thought processes, and you have a opportunity to kind of manage and make sure that everybody has a respectful conversation around whatever topic it is that y'all that you're talking about or presenting on your platform, man. And you're doing a good job at that, man. So I also want to shout you out on that. So keep pushing, keep working. You know what I mean? I know that, the conversation was about other things on this 2 hours that we've been on here. But, I think this time we need to, salute you for everything that you've been doing and everything that you have done so far in the YouTube travel world. And, giving brothers like myself and other individuals an opportunity to come on and voice their opinion, voice that side of who they are as a person to the rest of the world as well. So, man, salute to you, man. You know what I'm saying? And continue on our outfit path, continue doing what you're doing with your boy. Everything will work out, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll be all living abroad speaking Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Hablas en español con la gente en otro país.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, brother. I really, really, truly appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. And, especially what you do yourself on the crypto space and teaching brothers, educating them about that, and also doing that overseas as well. So there's a different spin that you put on it, and I think it's the right spin that a lot of brothers need, man. So thank you so much, Los. Appreciate you.
Salute.
All right, what do we got, man? TSG Uncut, man. My brother, man. What's up?
I just want to say happy birthday to you, brother.
Thank you.
I think that we need to go into 2024 with the mindset of continuing to, work on those things that are bigger than ourselves, particularly for all us brothers here on the panel. Continue working on your channels and stuff like that. Continue growing and educating your audiences in whichever way that, your platform does that. But for you specifically, K and D, it's great to see your growth. A lot of the times I watch your videos, man, like I can't even comment because half the time I'm watching a lot of y'all brothers on my couch. You know what I mean? And well, I'd rather see y'all on the big screen TV than anything, man. You know what I mean? But nah, man, I've seen your channel grow. I've seen how you set everything up, very professional and stuff. And so I hope for each and every one of you brothers, and particularly you, K&D, since today's your birthday, I just hope that you guys continue to grow. And, obviously we know how difficult what we do is. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, but I pray that each and every one of you guys grow your channel to 2024, focused on your purpose. And shout out to you and your son, man, all the stuff that you do. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be up here. And shout out to everybody on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We should always be trying to grow and improve. And I always talk about that, about us being on our purpose, man. And I hope that everyone is doing that going forward in 2024, because there's just a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that we need to be aware of. And that's why we need to work towards, trying to find what our calling is. So that's all I got to say.
Man, brother, thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate it. And speaking of hard work, you have 2 or 3 channels that's monetized. Is it 3?
No. I'm not there yet. I'm working on channel number 2. I actually wrote my first book, getting a lot of lessons learned from that first book. Yeah, no. I wrote my first book. That first book is tough, man. So it's called From Skinny Kid to Sensational Gent. And I thought it was a fitness book, but if you really read it, it's actually a motivational book. And I learned a lot of tough lessons on that first book, on how to put it out there, what I should have did. And so I should be working on my second book coming up. That's why I talk about everybody being on their purpose and grind. And you're going to have some bumps along the way. But I just encourage everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat, just to keep pushing, keep pressing towards your dreams. And the most important thing is not to stop. But I do have a second YouTube channel, and I'm still trying to carve out the full niche for that. And it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of work, man. I started a blog. I started my own art studio. Like, I'm busy, bro. You know what I mean? Just busy. Yeah. So I pray that you continue to push on what you're doing, everybody on the panel. That's kind of why I spoke the way I did earlier, because if you want to see yourself get to that next level, it's got to be hard work, and you got to believe in yourself when no one else does. You know what I mean? You got to believe in yourself when nobody rocking with you, because the most successful people are going to fail 100 times. But the difference between them and somebody unsuccessful is they don't give up. So,
man, thank you so much, brother. I really, really appreciate it, man. Man, you got, so you working on the book, 2 channels. One of them, I think you're at what, 16K and one of them?
I'm almost at 16K. Yeah.
Almost at 16K.
I haven't checked the day yet.
Man, but you working, man. I truly, truly appreciate that, man. Truly, truly appreciate that. All right. All right. So let me go with you, Austin. So, your final thoughts, anything you want to say on the subject or anything you want to say in general, brother?
Like I always say, thank you for having me on. It's a blessing to speak with you every day, and happy birthday again. It's a blessing for you to see another birthday.
Thank you.
And I think this was a productive panel. People can learn, and people need to understand after watching this, you do need to get consultation, and you do need to educate yourself before you go to these places. And a lot of these issues and killings and robbings and all this other stuff that's going on with everybody can be prevented just by educating yourself. It's that simple. A consultation is not too expensive. If you want to go to Colombia, do a consultation with Dre or Kings and Dreams. Also, I have travel guys as well. But again, happy birthday. That's all I have to say. And thank you for having me today again.
No, I definitely appreciate it, right? Like, and I think that's important when it comes to the consultations, man, because like no matter like how we all look at a country, there were some things we agreed on, disagreed on here tonight, but the overall is that we want to educate people the right way and the smart way, right? And so that's important. So all of the lessons that we've learned traveling to these countries, some people living in these countries, being through these countries multiple times, these lessons are important, and a couple of dollars will save your life, literally. So
yeah, prevention is always cheaper.
Absolutely. All right, Dre, what do we got, my brother?
Oh man, everybody said basically what need to be said. So I don't want to be long-winded or anything.
No, you got it.
But I do want to say happy birthday, man, to a man that is a great father, a great football coach, a guy that's a great friend, a great brother to many of us, a man that is an example to how it's supposed to be done when it comes to travel, as well as when you're back home, how you're supposed to carry yourself. So I want to say, man, I'm so happy for you at this 39th. And Los is correct. Once you hit 40, there's a new wave of wisdom that's going to come flying your way as well. So I'm excited for you in regards to not just 39, but the up and coming year of 40. When it comes to your brand, what our brother just said, TSG, he was absolutely correct. You've carved out your niche and you're sticking with it and you're consistent with it. You know exactly what you're doing. You know how to. I love the tone that you use when you're asking questions. I love the fact that you allow your audience to be comfortable, no matter if it's an all-male audience or all-female audience or panel. And I appreciate the work that you put in behind the scenes and not just in front of the camera. So there are some great things coming down the turnpike as you continue to grow. But other than that, man, like I said, just about everything had been said. I'm about to go ahead and do this live stream and get some sleep after that. But I'll talk to you guys later, man. I have nothing but love for all of us that are traveling. And once again, I love the fact that there are diverse segments of the Passport Bro expat Black man experience with passports. I love that we all have diversity and we're all experiencing it in the different segments in different ways. If it was all the same, it would be boring, and the Passport Bro movement or the expat movement probably would have died down into silence, and it would just been us using our passports, but it would have died down as far as the notoriety that it's starting to get. So shout out to all of us who are a part of all the segments of the Passport Bro Blue Book Gentlemen expat movement.
Man, thank you so much, man. Man, you guys are giving me some kind words, man. You know, man, I'm like holding back some tears, man.
You deserve it, brother. You really do, man. We're not fluffing it up, man. You're a really good man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. And you all are good men. And I will say, without this brother, man, this brother, I can't thank him enough. He's the one who got me started on YouTube, man. Brother, since freshman year of high school, my dude, the Flyboy Way. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute, bro.
First, I gotta start with the happy born day, of course, to my bro. Yo, I mean, shoot, listen. I'm gonna keep this picture up in a second. I took this picture. We'll get to that picture in a second. But
yeah,
from throwing house parties in Society Hill, me in Society Hill, tearing up his mother's house. Oh, bro, I know. Breaking you ever if you ever seen the movie with House Party where somebody broke the toilet?
Who broke the toilet?
I mean, to the point from there, that's early years. Science High, Immaculate Conception, like we just moving, you know, moving through high school. You know what I mean? It's been a dope journey. Like I said, I'm gonna hit 40 this year. You about to hit 40 next year. I think now we're going towards more of the from the teens to the midlife to beyond. And we're just learning more. We're just doing more. It's great to see us both grow together and still be doing stuff. I put this picture up specifically because this is the first trip that King James and I went on together. The first trip. I believe King James, how old? You was like, you might have been like 20 at this time, man.
I was like
20.
Yeah. We were like 19, 20. Yeah.
You might have been 19.
We went to so they don't even have it anymore, but we went to Daytona Beach and it used to be called BCR Black College Reunion. So anyone that's like in their mid 30s and up will actually know what we're talking about if you've lived in the South or like no, but it used to be called Black College Reunion, you know, and it's funny because we were me and my man are two Spanish chicks, but hey, they love the brothers.
Listen, but I mean, the whole thing is just like it's dope to see the progress that you progressing, and now you moved on to the YouTube thing. And I remember this time last year, you didn't have 1,000 subscribers, did you?
No, I did.
You did, right? So, but you doubled that time. You doubled what you had last year in just a year.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you're able to be a great father to your son and do the coaching thing and still be able to maneuver around this travel space, it shows the dedication to your purpose. And I think that's probably the best part that I think people are gonna like about you moving forward in the future too. But just never forget where you came from with how traveling began, and you'd be amazed to where it take you, man.
No, man. I truly excuse me. I truly appreciate it, man. You know, it's definitely has been a journey. And it's been an exciting journey. I truly thank everyone here in the chat, everyone that continues to support me, who continues to watch my content. As I mentioned in the beginning of this stream, like I do this because of y'all, and Flyboy, I can't thank you enough for actually getting me started to do YouTube, man. At first, I thought it was just something where I could just do as a hobby and things like that. But I've been able to incorporate this in real life. And, you know, aside from me being a father, a coach, and also having a career this YouTube thing truly means a lot to me, and I hope that you all can see, even those who may not have subscribed to me, make sure that you do subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because I am not going to stop, and I'm going to continue to keep going and continue to keep growing. So I appreciate all the love and the support. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate all the super chats. Anyone who called me, sent me a text message, people who personally know me, people who just kind of see me around or whatever the case is, man. Whether you love me or hate me, doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep going. I'm still going to stay on my purpose, stay purposeful, and I'm out. Peace.